Yeah, my first church out of seminary was in Roxana, Illinois, just on the east side of St. Louis there. And, I like many people out of seminary. I'm going to my first church hoping I'm going to be there for a while. I was there for slightly less than 3 years, but for a very good reason. It was a church that had a sister congregation, or maybe better said, a rival congregation, literally a mile away, another Presbyterian church, both about the same age. Everybody knew everybody in each church. Interesting history, though. Both of them really were started by the Shell Oil Company. When they moved their refinery there, churches came up. My church was the blue-collar church. The other church was the white-collar church. And so I say they were rivals because if you were a blue-collar worker at Shell Oil and you wanted a promotion, you went to the other church so your bosses could see you. So they were two churches that had a really interesting and tension-filled history there. But also, they were no longer, the size churches they were back in the 50s and 60s. And so they finally reached the point of saying, we need to talk seriously about our future. So I worked with the pastor of the other church, and it was a process. It took us almost 2 full years, but they ended up merging and becoming a new church. And it's always healthy for a new church to not have their previous pastors be the new pastor, so that there isn't one group saying, well, yeah, this is my pastor, that's your pastor. So I told the church when it came time to be ready to vote on whether or not to merge with this other church, I told them if they voted yes, that the next day I would start looking for a new church. And I told them why, and they understood that. So I actually consider my short stay at that church a huge success, getting them to the place they needed to be going forward.